Suspense Files on the Sister Speak show. I am your host, Sister Speak. The Suspense Files, where we cover the who, what, when, where, why in urban crime. The Sister Speak show, where contemporary meets vision, sound, and action, a talk show for great minds that create, inspire, impact, and evolve. Sister, spiritual inspiration shared through the arts. Sister, spiritual inspiration shared through Rihanna, but you better call me Sister Speak. Welcome to my first-time listeners, and welcome back to my faithful listeners. How are you? I hope all is well with you. Tonight's episode on the Suspense Files: Death Will Part Us, Murder for Money, The Black Widow Bride. Rated R for strong content, language, and thoughts. You've been looking for love in the wrong places. That's how you ended up in this situation. You never knew. You didn't know that you had married a femme fatale. You just thought that she was the one. You had no idea that you'll be her sixth husband and that the other five died mysteriously. You didn't know that she's only in it for the life insurance policy and your assets. It's the will that she wants. It's the cars. It's the house. It's everything. She wants everything that you have. And she's willing to bait you in and lure you in to have it. She's going to use black magic. She's going to use spell work, love spells, think of me spells. Everything to lure you in. You don't understand what it is. You're just crazy about her. Your friends keep warning you that something is off with her, but you just can't get enough of her. She's in your head. She has control of every part of your body. She rules your penis. You can't get enough of her. Like Peppa said, it must be voodoo, because baby, I want you. You're doing things that you never thought you would do before for her. You're actually going into debt, but you can't stop thinking about her. She drives you wild. She's the femme fatale. That's what she does. And you want to marry her. You have no idea that death will part you two sooner than later, because she's only marrying you for your money. She's a Black Widow bride. This is what she does. You worked hard for everything you have, and you have no idea that in a matter of a few months, nobody's going to hear from you. You're not going to show up to work that day. Somebody's going to come by the house looking for you. And she's about to receive an Oscar for all of the crying that she is about to do. She's so distraught because she doesn't know what happened to you. You won't answer any of her calls. She's putting on the tears for the police officers, and she's even able to glamorize them. There's no way somebody like this could have done it. You're right. She hired somebody to do it. A hitman. Oh, but she's definitely an accessory. It's all premeditated. The hitman, her lover. You thought she was faithful? Oh, no. She's allergic to being monogamous. She's polyamorous. Except you had no idea about the other lovers. The other lovers had no idea about the other lovers. And this particular murder isn't going to end well for the hitman either. Because after he does her dirty work, she's going to kill him. Her plan? to take everything that you have, liquidate it, and ride off into the sunset, and then go find somebody else to do the same thing too. I think now you're probably thinking, I probably shouldn't have ordered my bride in the mail. I don't know how she fit in the mailbox in the first place, but that's neither here nor there. She's in your house. Your children don't like her. Your older children, your adult children, they don't like her. Something's off with her, Daddy. She's weird, Dad. And she starts to push your children out of the way because they're standing in the way of what she wants. Your next of kin, they have to go. And now you're starting to turn on your own children because this femme fatale is dominating the foundation of the home. It's just murder for money in her mind. She has no feelings. Yeah, she can cupcake with no feeling. That sex didn't mean anything to you. I mean, to her. It meant everything to you since your first wife died. You haven't touched like this. You haven't felt like this in a long time. And she's going to have you changing the beneficiary of the life insurance policy because you're under the spell. You're going to start changing the will. She's now the executor of the will. How did that even happen? Starting to feel a headache. Just seem a little off, huh? Don't even understand what's really going on. Just you're not yourself, and your friends are kind of noticing you're not yourself, and they've warned you about her. But if you're happy, it's because she's putting antifreeze in your drink. It's because when you guys have a nightcap, she's putting a pill in your drink. Yeah, she's making you lose all of your defenses. It's a slow kill. Age, as I die slowly. Cold, calculated murderer. The Black Widow bride. Third husband. First two died mysteriously. She had to move out of state. She's even changed her hair color, her whole identity. This is what she does. She's on the run. You have no idea. And she's in your home. The Black Widow bride. She didn't want a big wedding. Let's just go down to the city hall, or let's go down to Vegas, and let's just go and get a quick shotgun wedding. I just want to be with you. Yeah, she gamed you. She knows all your PIN codes, passwords. She has access to everything that you worked hard for, the Black Widow bride. You never saw it coming, right? Because when she talks, it sounds like this. This is what you were imagining in your head, right? This beautiful music. The Black Widow bride. To the Black Widow bride. To the Black Widow. There's a day coming where you're not going to get away with it. You may have gotten away with it 1 or 2 times, but everything has an expiration date. You use love to lure men in, only to murder them for their money. You use sex to murder. You deceive and you con other people to do your dirty work. You're flying monkeys because you are a narcissist as well. And then you play with principalities in order to create illusions. You hate men. You were taught to hate men. You were never raised to respect men. This is a generational curse. All the women in your family are murderers. They have that spirit in them. It's a curse. They projected onto you how to project onto men. And now, here you are in the streets, speaking sweet nothings to an unsuspecting victim to get them to marry you so you can murder them for money. You didn't mean anything by those vows. It's just par for the course. It's just a script. People get married all the time in movies. Are they really married? That's how you think. You like to go for the older man, don't you? The one who's close to death. That's what you think. The one who's obtained some assets, right? The one who's weak. The one who's probably a widow. Huh? What's your game plan? To plot, to lure, to bait. Unsuspecting older men. Rich men. You've been watching too much Dynasty. You've got it all twisted, sis. In this life, things are to be given to you naturally. They are to grow organically. They're not to be genetically modified. You cannot go around plotting and planning on men by using love, using marriage in order to obtain life insurance policies, assets, CDs, bank accounts, cars, furs, jewels, homes, to become a socialite, to be recognized, to have status that was never yours to be given, that was never yours from the beginning. It's not in your birthright. This isn't how your destiny was supposed to go. And you're mad. And you're mad because you want your life to be different. And you want your life to be different in a way that is wicked. I'm all for being able to have what you need, and I'm all for success. I'm all for having material things be gained in its proper way, but I am not for, and you should not be for, using men to get those things, and even being willing to kill a man to get them, and even playing with vows and playing with matrimony in order to obtain these things. That's a whole mask. And there are men who are dead because some women, like yourself, have hired people to kill them. There are women who poison their husbands. Are you this woman? Do you hate men? Do you use marriage as a weapon? Are you so hollowed out on the inside that you are willing to obtain money by any means necessary? Childhood trauma is the reason why these type of situations manifest. And until the work is done, the energy is clear, and we break generational curses, we may end up in a situation where our lives are on the line because of love, because we thought it was love. Who did you marry? Are you sleeping with the enemy? How well do you know the person that you're with? What happens when you go to work and they're at home all day? The Black Widow bride lives an alternative lifestyle, and she doesn't give two flying about you. Are you desperate for love, brother? Have you married somebody without really doing your human facts on them? Carfax, you did the Carfax on your car, but what about on your woman? Your family keeps telling you, brother, that something's off with her. They keep warning you about this sister, and you won't listen It must be voodoo because, baby, I want you. Yeah, it is voodoo. For real, for real. Every time she cooks for you, you get weaker and weaker. Every time she pours a drink for you, you become weaker and weaker. It's like literally she's saying Beetlejuice to you. You're shrinking. You're not who you used to be. You're off. Your family notices it. And there's a difference between family hating and family really having good, righteous discernment, wanting nothing but the best from you, for you, and not wanting a wicked-ass woman, a witch with tainted bloodline in a diseased, infested, wicked lineage coming up into the family and destroying the bloodline. They don't want it. But you won't listen. Your chakras are blocked. You won't listen. She's turning you away from your own family. The Black Widow Bride. There's something hollow about her eyes, but you can't see it. It's the illusion. But your family can see it. Your friends can see it. Your children can see it. Why are you changing the beneficiary of your life insurance policy? Why are you setting it up to where she could obtain everything? Why would you suddenly, in the beginning of the relationship, 3 months, 6 months, she's approaching you about changing your finances towards her, just in case something happens. When somebody loves you, they don't care about what it is that you have in that aspect. They just want you. They want you to live. They enjoy every breathing moment with you. So they don't think about life insurance policies and what am I going to do if he or she no, they think about high vibrational thoughts. They think high vibrational thoughts. They don't think about these low vibrating things. Now, yes, in a marriage, there comes a time when we have files that contain our documents so we can know what to do. But this is through the course of time. This is what two people who love each other, they have this discussion. But 3 months in, you're asking me to change the beneficiary of my life insurance policy. Or you're going in and you're actually forging my signature. And you're having your way with me. But because I'm under this magic, I'm defenseless. And you're asking these things too early. Well, what about the will? I just met you. Baby, we are still on the honeymoon, and you're asking about my life insurance policy. And that's why she wanted to go hiking. And that's why you're going to mysteriously fall. Because it's too early for us to be talking about these documents. Taking advantage of you, if you are a widower, you're vulnerable, haven't had love in a long time, and here comes love, and love is really death. She doesn't know how to love, and you were looking for it, and you were vulnerable, and that's how it happened. That's why working on grief and depression and these other type of feelings that will have you vibrating low and leave you vulnerable, that's why therapy is imperative for us. So we do not become victims to these type of crimes. So you, my brother, are not the next victim of the Black Widow Bride. Because death will part you if you marry her. And it will part you too prematurely. She's going to try to murder you for your money. By any means necessary. all started out like this. You had gotten caught up by the movies, romance, and this is the music that you hear in your head. But this is what she hears in her head. Yeah, Easy E karaoke music credit. Karaoke fun from YouTube. Yeah, this is what's going on in her head. And this is who she's dating on the side. This is the hitman. This is the music that's playing in his car as he's coming to your house to kill you. She's got an alibi. This is what's going on. But this is you. You have no idea that knock on the door, that's not the pizza man. That's not a real delivery man. That's the hit man. Because your Black Widow bride wants to murder you for your money. We'll be right back after these commercial breaks. There are 3 ingredients that create a good time: relaxation, peace, and laughter. The latest episode of The Laugh Line on the Sister Speak Show is available on demand now, and it's going to give you all 3 rated R for strong content, language, and thoughts. On this episode, comedians we respect. Dave Chappelle's tribute to comedians, naturally funny, how going live has advanced comedy careers. Tommy Davidson, a stand-up comedian, different from the rest. On the Laugh Line, we're covering all aspects of comedy, classic and contemporary comedy audio clips, special guest comedians, comedy show reviews. You do not want to miss this episode. You're definitely going to be laughing, especially with the Sister Speak sit-down comedy. Get ready. On the Sister Speak Show, where contemporary meets vision, sound, and action, a talk show for great minds that create, inspire, impact, and evolve. Click the link for the latest episode. It's time to... Now all I need is a super fly blazer and a pair of shorts for my photo shoot. Sis, have you made any progress? Everything has to be fly. I'm a professional stylist for a reason, sis. I found these 2 pieces from KK Lachey. They're perfect for your photo shoot. Sitting pic snap. Oh, these are lit. Book the look, sis. I ordered the outfit already, sis. Your photo shoot is going to be epic. The summer sale at KK Lachey is going on now. With these looks and more in stock, you're guaranteed to find the look that you need, whether it's for a photo shoot or a day or night out. Shop kklachey.com and get ready. The look, the feel, the vibe. kklachey.com. Welcome back. You are listening to the Suspense Files on the Sister Speak Show. I'm your host, Sister Speak, the Suspense Files, where we cover the who, what, when, where, why in urban crime. I thank you for being a wonderful listening audience. It's only going to get deeper. I have some clips for you today, provided by YouTube. These clips are to raise awareness about the dangers of murder for money, plots to hire killers for money through marriage to obtain life insurance policy, assets, property, cars, the entire status, the wealth, to overtake their victims by death, the Black Widow bride. These clips are from YouTube, and the sources are Kenya Citizens TV, WXYZ TV Detroit, K24 TV, 6 ABC Philadelphia, Nation, Yellow Lion, Amaziah, and WPLG Local 10, all stations, channels on YouTube. I'll speak to you after this clip. Hey, hold on. Wait a minute now. Before you go by that ring, before you get ready to set up this elaborate proposal, just wait. I don't want you to marry the Black Widow. So just listen to these clips before you decide that you're ready to love. Because she might be ready to kill.
Tonight, after police say a woman and her secret lover conspired to kill her husband just so that they could cash in on his $1 million life insurance policy. And now people who donated to a campaign to help the woman they thought was a grieving mom are demanding their money back. 11 Live's Faith Abube, she's been on this story all day long, and also you have some more information from GoFundMe.
And that's right, and we reached out to GoFundMe this afternoon. Just a few hours ago, we got the statement telling us that GoFundMe has removed that page, which raised more than $5,000, or actually almost $5,000, for Tia Young and her children. And tonight, everyone who donated can request for their money to be refunded. Right now, neighbors reacting to the woman's arrest.
It's tough. That's tough.
Who could forget a grieving wife flanked by her emotionally overwhelmed children? I'm gonna do it by myself. Mourning the death of George Young, a security guard killed on his front porch after a long day of work on November 16th. At least twice since the murder, Tia Young spoke with 11 Alive, pleading for the killer to come forward and face justice for killing her innocent husband. Everybody loved George. But months after the crime, police say these tears were hiding a deep, dark secret. Young and a family friend, Harvey Tim Lee, now accused of killing the father of three. Investigators say the two were having an affair in the home Young shared with her husband, and they killed him to cash in on his $1 million insurance policy.
We figured that she probably had something to do with it. Something wasn't right. I just, it didn't sit well with me, her demeanor.
Most of the dozen or so neighbors we talked to feel the same way. They say days after the murder, Young was acting strange and not like a mother in grief.
If you would have got away with it, kids would have had to live without their father. But now that you didn't get away with it, now the kids have to live without their mother and their father.
And that's the reality tonight. The three kids are home with their grandmother. One of them told me this afternoon he has no words to describe how they're feeling, Ron.
Now, Faith, when you first spoke with that young mom, she was pleading for justice. You were trying to help her. What were you thinking at the time?
She sounded very genuine. Of course, she was crying. I didn't see her as often as her neighbors did. But really, she was adamant about finding the killer, the person who killed her husband of 22 years. She had just lost the father of her children. She really seemed like she wanted justice for those kids. I tell you, I am as shocked about the story as anyone about this news tonight.
A woman from Redford, allegedly behind a murder for hire plot involving her husband, is locked up, facing federal charges at this point. 7 Action News reporter Simon Shaquette shows us what prompted an informant to come forward, revealing her plans.
We know that the FBI spent months listening to phone calls and even tracking a secret meeting at this McDonald's at 5 Mile and Telegraph, all to stop an alleged murder for hire plot. Neighbors confirm this Facebook photo shows 40-year-old Kirsten Evans, the same woman now in federal custody. An agent with the FBI's Violent Crime Task Force says Evans wanted to pay to have her husband, by common law marriage, killed in order to collect on his $440,000 life insurance policy. Today, we visited Evans' home to see if any family members would comment. No one was home, but a neighbor did stop to talk and express her disbelief.
Greed, probably. I mean, there's a lot of ways of dealing with things. You don't have to kill them.
Feds say Evans asked a man she knew who was actually an FBI informant to be a middleman to contract a hitman from Ohio. They say she even negotiated a price of $5,000, a lower rate than $10,000 first offered.
Oftentimes you're dealing with people that have no criminal background whatsoever. It's more of an emotional type of crime.
Retired FBI Assistant Director Dan Roberts says cases like this can often be a race against time.
She may have gone out and tried to find somebody else to do the deed for her.
According to the FBI, the 63-year-old husband works in Southfield, and photos of him, his workplace, and his vehicle were all texted to an undercover FBI agent calling himself Milton, with orders to commit murder. Feds say their informant wanted to stop Evans before she hired anyone else. He was also asking for some leniency in another case in exchange for this cooperation. From Redford, Simon Shaykat, 7 Action News.
It was the end of the proverbial 40 days for Faith Wairimu. Wairimu, a mother of two, confessed before Chief Magistrate Peter Mwingi at the Milimani Court of plotting to kill her husband. The woman unknowingly gave the police officers a down payment of 40,000 shillings to eliminate the husband, who is a businessman, and was to clear the remaining 60,000 shillings once the job is done. The suspect tricked her husband to accompany her to a bank in Githurai, where she alerted the would-be killers, who she did not know were flying squad officers, to storm the location where she and her spouse were.
The killers now approached me. We were with her. Then she just sneaked. And that's when the killers came and picked me.
But in the process of the scuffle, Muthe ended up in their arms and was ferried to Kasarani police station, where they revealed the plot.
That's when we did a drama. My wife was asking me where all my documents are on the phone. Before I go die, I die. And of course, she was not interested in anything else. She was interested in my property, I would say. She was convinced I'm dead. And then the police went to where she does the business. And they were promised my vehicle and a water pump. So that's when they arrested her.
It was the third time the woman was trying to kill the husband through a similar plot, but the man was lucky in the previous occasions. The would-be hitman disappeared after pocketing the cash. But her reasons for this heinous crime. The case ruling will be made next week on 28th of June. Brenda Cheriot, Citizen, live at 9.
The Spring community, one of their own, accused of hatching a plot to have her husband killed. So fast forward to today, just more than 1 year later, 41-year-old Maria Sosa has admitted to the murder-for-hire plot and has learned her fate. Channel 2's Sophia Ojeda was in this Montgomery County courtroom today when that sentence was handed down, and when Sosa's husband spoke out about his wife's chilling plan.
She wanted me dead bad. She wanted me dead bad.
Ramon Sosa spoke to Channel 2 at the Montgomery County Courthouse after his wife Maria Sosa was sentenced to 20 years in state prison. In court, she admitted hiring an undercover agent to murder him last year.
And after looking at all the evidence and I would hear all the audio, I would see her, and there was no remorse in her voice. There was no repent. There was just anger every time I heard those audios, and it was just sent chills down my back.
41-year-old Maria Sosa was sentenced to 20 years in state prison with time served for hiring an undercover agent to kill her husband. As part of a deal, Sosa pleaded guilty to the lesser crime of solicitation of second-degree murder. Sosa planned out the murder-for-hire plot last year. She promised the agent $2,000 and her husband's truck once the job was done. Her husband, Ramon, spoke out in court and said he and his wife were going through a divorce and everything would be split down the middle. But it wasn't good enough. She wanted him dead, all for the greed of money.
And there was a time that I was thinking maybe, I should just go forward and say, look, when you do this is wrong. But every time I listened to the audio, she wanted me dead bad. She wanted me dead bad. She even said it that I was better to her dead.
Maria Sosa has already served about a year and a half behind bars. She will now begin serving out the rest of her sentence in a state prison with no right to appeal. In Montgomery County, Sophia Ojeda, KPRC, Channel 2 News.
Allegedly behind a murder for hire plot involving her husband, is locked up, facing federal charges at this point. 7 Action News reporter Simon Shaquette shows us what prompted an informant to come forward, revealing her plans.
We know that the FBI spent months.
Began this half hour with the arrest of a Lehigh Valley woman accused of trying to pay someone to kill her husband, not once, but twice.
For more on how the plot was uncovered and why she allegedly attempted to hire a hitman, we go now to investigative reporter Chad Perdelli, live for us in Allentown with the full story. Chad.
Hey, Chad.
Sure. Hey, guys. Claudia Carrion was arrested a month ago, charged with solicitation for murder. Court records reveal she allegedly paid an undercover detective to kill her husband. According to court documents, a confidential informant provided police with information Claudia Carrion wanted to hire someone to kill her husband. A sting was set up, and court records say Carrion offered an undercover detective $4,000 to kill her husband. She allegedly was only able to pay $100 up front and offered to pay weekly installments. Glennis Clark is her defense attorney.
And I think it's weird that you'd have like $4,000 to kill somebody. Really? How serious are you about that? $100 a week?
Carrion allegedly told police after her arrest this was not her first attempt at hiring a hitman. She told police she wanted to kill her husband because of infidelity and abuse. The family had no comment at their home on the 1900 block of South Delaware Avenue this morning. The judge set bail at $350,000. Her attorney believes that's too high because he says her husband is not even afraid of her.
He didn't know anything about it until the police came to him. But even so, that goes to the question of whether or not she's a danger to the community if he's not afraid of her.
And Carrion was unable to make bail. She remains here at the county jail. Live in Allentown, Chad Perdelli, Channel 6 Action News.
Woman is arrested in Tallahassee after allegedly orchestrating a life insurance fraud scheme. Police say that Joyce Small secretly obtained 33 life insurance policies on 29 different people and allegedly collected more than $211,000 in life insurance benefits. If all the victims had passed away before she'd even been stopped, Small could have obtained nearly $2 million in death benefits. Small is now charged with insurance fraud, organized scheme to defraud, as well as grand theft.
Welcome back. You're listening to the Suspense Files on the Sister Speak show. The Suspense Files covering the who, what, when, where, why in urban crime. I thank you all for being wonderful listeners. Let's get into this real quick, and then we're going to go ahead and wrap this show up. The clips speak for themselves. The clips provide more resources to back up what I'm saying, to highlight the urgency to guard yourself and be aware of who you are planning to marry or who you have already married and what their motives truly are. You should never, I don't care the history, I don't care what it is, you should always know who it is that you're saying I do to. When it comes to money, people turn crazy. Some people. And yes, the love of money is the root of all evil. It is. People will do some people will go far into the pits of Hades, Sheol, Gehenna, and the lake of fire to obtain money. Greed is dangerous. And people will plot and plan behind your back long in advance to take what is not theirs. An inheritance, life insurance policy, a will, an estate, property, assets. And they will lie in wait for the perfect opportunity to take what is not theirs. It will be family, it'll be friends, and it can be your spouse. It can even be you. Family members will come, foes, friends. The smell of money, the smell of success, status, access, abundance. Some people want it, and they want it by any means necessary. And one of the weapons something that is meant to be beautiful, that they will weaponize is marriage and love and intimacy in order to obtain money. And I am a witness to the lengths that one person or a group of people will go to obtain money and an inheritance. They tried to wipe me off the face of the earth. They tried to put me to where I would go to jail. They lied on me. They went through so many lengths on my mother's side, some people on my mother's side, to gain money when my father passed away. They hatched a plan before, premeditated, and used the police, used other services to try to take me out, to smear my name, to tarnish my name, to obtain money. I had to protect my mother and my sister. They wanted to gain my father's estate, my inheritance, my mother's estate. And my mother's estate hasn't even been liquidated. She's still alive. They wanted it. They wanted to be the beneficiary. They wanted to be the one who was the power of attorney. And they went through lengths. They lied. And they all covered it up by saying, oh, we just wanted to be in touch. We just wanted to have contact. We just wanted to talk to her. They lied and used so many extremes to try to push me out of the way, to gain what my father worked hard for, that was for our inheritance. They wanted to be the next of kin. Smeared my name, teamed up with the narcissist, went through lengths, and I was proven innocent. I will always say that. 2 letters to back that up. Cases closed. Tarnished, really went through lengths to gain what wasn't theirs. That's what people will do for money. And that's what people will do even in a marriage for money. They will lie, plot, and scheme and hire someone to take you out just to get that. That's what the Black Widow Bride will do. She has married several men. You are not her first husband. You won't be her last if she can get away with it, if she doesn't get caught this time. Her time is winding down because the police are hot on her trail. The FBI is hot on her trail. Somebody is after her. There's a loved one who wants her head because she left her brother for dead, their son for dead. Because she takes love and she uses it and she puts hooks into it. She uses black magic and spells and all type of voodoo in order to make you succumb to her prowessness and to make you succumb to her woes and make you be what you have never been before. And that's a zombie. So she can take everything that you have. She wants it all. What was your biggest mistake? You told her about the life insurance policy that you had. She knows how much it is. You told her, you showed her everything. You trusted her. Why wouldn't you, right? Wrong. In this day and age, even before this day and age, we are to trust no man. We are to be sober and vigilant. We are to keep our head on the swivel. We are to love, but be very cautious without casting our pearls to swine. And some of you men are married to swine, and they want the entire strand of pearls. Not only that, the rubies, the fur, the cars, they want it all, and they want you out of the way so they can continue sleeping with their lover. And after their lover kills you, they will then turn around, the femme fatale, the Black Widow Bride, and kill her lover, and she will ride off into the sunset with all of your assets, sell the house, and when they come by looking for her, she is long gone. The police are hot on her trail, but she is about 10 steps ahead of them right now in the physical, but she didn't get away with it in the spiritual, and her time is up. Yes, the granules of sand are running out in the hourglass. Her time is up, but in the meantime, in between time, who did you marry? You ordered your bride in the mail. I don't know how she could fit even in the mailbox, but she got to your doorstep. You have no idea who this woman is, but you've got to have somebody right now, and your intentions to marry this woman was to make her be your slave, and she had bigger intentions than yours. She vibrates lower than you, and she has plans to kill you and take everything that you have. She's in America, thank you for the green card, and now she wants everything that you have. because you have no idea who Katiana is. She just looked good to you in the catalog. You thought she was going to be your slave, and you turned out being the one who she dominated. Now, you don't know which way is up and which way is down, but one thing you do know, you just signed over all of your assets to her. She is now the power of attorney. She owns everything. She did it because she slipped Quaaludes into your drink. She did it because she's been putting different types of undetectable poisons in your food. She's slowly killing you. It's just a little bit of arsenic in your food at a time. And she's able to wow you with this great sex, which is really what you were all you were really looking for, is just somebody who you could have sex with. And she's able to put a spell on you, that good old voodoo, that bad old voodoo on you. And that's why you are nothing but a shell of yourself. Your Black Widow bride is here to collect. Yes, she's here to collect. That's the cicadas and whatever else that is in the trees, brothers and sisters. You know where I'm at. I'm in the second location recording. It's the Texas heat. But she is looking to collect. Your children do not like her. They've already told you this. But, hey, you're going to ignore them because you're living your worst life. The Black Widow bride has come to collect, and you're going to give it up one way, shape, or form. Or are you? Are you going to wise up? Are you going to start listening? Are you going to actually tap into that intuition and actually really allow yourself to see that you are actually seeing something off? Are you just so happy to have somebody to love? The Black Widow bride, how were you raised? How did your mother raise you? What was your environment like? What is it that you saw, experienced, that led you to be a femme fatale, to where you marry for money and murder for money via marriage? That you have several lovers and that several men have done your dirty work for you because you seduced them with that magic. What's your real name? Who are you really? How many identities do you have? What's in that safety deposit box? How long have you been on the run? Why do you hate men? Were you violated as a young girl? Is this a vendetta, a vengeance? Was your home broken up by a mistress? And now you are on a warpath to destroy men because you are really mad at your father for breaking up the home. What's the root of it? What is this entire trend? Or not even a trend. What is this obsession to take men for all they have? This type of colonizing mentality to seize and to destroy and to capitalize and to pillage and to plunge. Where did you get this mentality from, this spirit from, to where you are willing to go to the pits of hell in order to get a life insurance policy cashed out? That's even if you get it. You listen to the news clips, that's even if you get it. Because if this man who you're going to hire somebody to kill your husband is the FBI informant, it's over for you. But you're not considering that because as you listen in the clip, a lot of times this is an emotional decision. So going back to therapy and childhood trauma and not dealing with the healing, and now you're over here polluting with no solution. And you have a trail of bodies. You're wanted. Some of you are on the run, literally, because you are the Black Widow bride, using marriage as a weapon to gain money. And some of you men flashing all of your money, going on dating sites, right? Seeking out these women in low places. What type of behaviors do you expect to get? You're going to get low vibing behaviors. If you met her in the gutter, you're going to get a gutter result. And by the way, if you're in the gutter, what does that say about you? About the type of woman that you're marrying. And that's just for the men who vibrate low. But there are some men who are unsuspecting. You invited your buddy in to live with you. He had no place to stay. Now he's over here fornicating your wife, and now they have come together with a plan to take you out for $1 million life insurance policy, and both of those dummies ended up getting arrested and going to jail, and they don't get to enjoy the money. Dummies. Examples. It doesn't work out all the time, Black Widow bride or potential Black Widow bride, setup chick. It doesn't always work out for you. And by the way, you never get away with it. You think you're getting away with it now? In the spirit realm, tick, tock. Ooh, when that bomb goes off, ooh, when those towers hit, you'll never want to look at another wedding ring again. You'll never want to look at another wedding ring again. Stop tainting the beauty and essence and tranquility and harmony of marriage. The home wrecker is the Black Widow bride, seeking whom she may devour. People will do anything for money when they have none or when they want more. Some people will, as I said before, stay poor on purpose, lie in wait, and then execute a plan to try to take you off the face of the earth to gain something that's not theirs. That's the mentality of the devil. Excuse me, did you marry the daughter of the devil? Are you sleeping with the daughter of the devil? Are you sleeping with the enemy? Did you marry the enemy? You had no idea that your best friend was sleeping with your wife. You had no idea. You had no idea that your best friend would be your hitman. The hitman. All for some change. Some of you say $1 million and 400,000 is a lot. It definitely is. But at what cost? Is it worth it? No. The Black Widow bride. You got to have you a bag, some shoes. You want it all. You're a material girl, living in a carnal world, seeking out possessions that don't even belong to you, willing to kill in order to have, willing to marry. One husband died, 2 husbands died, 3 husbands. It's just you're a serial killer. There are black women, women who are all shades of brown, and we just need to get the cotton candy out of our eyes, who are serial killers, who have not been arrested, who marry men and murder them, who have collected several life insurance policies, who come in all sweet and seductive under using all kind of black magic, and who have in this time, in this moment, right now as we speak, who have a body count. Please don't be fooled. You would never suspect, but all the while, they are the Black Widow bride. What happened to Uncle so-and-so? Oh, he had a heart attack. What happened to my other Uncle so-and-so that you married? Oh, he had a heart attack too. And the other uncle, heart attack again. You know, it's just like, wait a minute, something's off. Finding ways to kill your husband, is that you? Are you right now trying to collect on a life insurance policy and you feel like the only way that you can get it is to kill him? So are you searching for ways to take him out? Is that you? Were you thinking about doing it? You need to walk away from the marriage right now. I mean, seriously, it doesn't need to be death will part us, murder for money. You don't need to be the Black Widow bride. Some of you are possessed by the devil. You literally are witches, and you do love spells on men in order to gain what is not supposed to be yours. You get it through supernatural ways that are demonic, and you leave a bloodbath. You make men fall in love with you by tricking them. And when you try to tell you men, look, she put a love spell on you, she did some voodoo on you, something isn't right, stop eating the spaghetti, stop doing this, stop doing this. Look, I'm trying to tell you that they put witchcraft on you, they did black magic on you. That's why you're bound. That's why you can't run. That's why you can't tell up from down. That's why you are just crazy about her. That's why you can't stop thinking about her. That's why you're off kilter, because this woman is using black magic on you, brother. She's not natural, brother. She has come to assassinate you. And if you don't fix yourself and deal with your childhood trauma, brother, she may get you. If you have a sex addiction and you're marrying only for sex, you may end up on one of these news clips that I have to play. I hope not, but I'm not going to say that it won't happen, because if that's the vibration you're on, it's only a matter of time before you catch what you throw. Are you ordering your brides through the mail? Nobody knows how you met Katiana. They don't. All we know is that one day you were single, next day here you are mingling with Katiana. We don't know anything. But what we do know is that it looks like Katiana sleeps upside down at night. What we do know is that she's giving off an energy that says you need to run, but you don't want to listen because you're vulnerable, because you haven't healed from the passing of your first wife. Look, if you don't heal, you can be killed. And that's real talk, because you are susceptible to energies that you're not ready for, and you're defenseless. That's how you end up being a sucker for love. That's how you end up marrying the wrong person. That's how you end up with the Black Widow, decapitating you after mating. She can smell your weakness. She can smell the childhood trauma on you. That's why you're so easy. Easy is just not the term applied to women who are loose. Men are easy too. If it weren't so, then tell me how I was able to play all these news clips back to back. Tell me how Mr. Sosa was able to get caught up. He had no idea that his wife was going to turn out to be the witch, hiring somebody to murder him because she wanted it all in the divorce. He had no idea, right? Guard down. Some of you are marrying for the wrong reasons, and then the wrong reasons end up slapping you upside the head. You need to pray and ask the Most High God to give you a renewed mind and a clear understanding about what holy matrimony is, what it embraces, how it can be achieved, and the work that you need to do, the prerequisites in order to have a healthy marriage, to where you don't end up on one of these news clips or Dateline or any other show that speaks about these type of crimes of passion, of emotion, of gluttony, of adultery. It's okay to be single. It's okay to wait. It is okay to do the work in order to get there. You're not ready to love. And if you jump out onto that ship prematurely, you're going to miss the boat by several feet and land straight into the sharks. Some of you know what it is to escape a Black Widow. Some of you have stories to tell about marrying a witch and how you escaped. How sharks are real. How that ocean water is no joke. How those currents are no joke when you're somewhere you weren't supposed to be because you think it's love and it's really lust. Because you did trust that big butt and a smile. I don't know how many stamps it took for you to send for your mail order bride, but I'm telling you right now, Katiana, she's evil. And she's coming to collect. All that money on the wedding. Next thing you know, here you are, having to fake your own death because you were alerted that your wife hired a hitman, but the hitman that was hired was really an FBI agent, or the informant worked for the FBI. Either way, there was a divine intervention. You better praise God for that divine intervention. Can you imagine your wife offering to give somebody a truck for your life? That's some shit. Now, I'm going to give you $500, a set of butter knives, and a truck to off you for some money. You're not worth anything to them. If you were, we wouldn't be talking about this tonight. Now, would we? Or this morning or afternoon, whenever you listen. However you saw marriage, brother, growing up, if it was an unrighteous vision for you, if you were taught an unrighteous curriculum, you need to go to therapy and get some help so you don't get caught up. Because flashing your money and letting these women know all of your assets and letting them see where your safe is and just being so open, excuse me, you're setting yourself up. And until you do the work, you're going to keep attracting the setup chick and a potential black widow. Nobody should even know that you have a life insurance policy. That should be something that's discovered after you pass away. They don't need to know how much. They don't need to know where your safe is. They don't need to see all that. For what? Is that the only way that you know how to get a woman? By flashing all of these things? There's nothing else to you but your status, but on the inside, you're really 3 years old, even though you're 53? Remember this. There's always somebody willing to vibrate lower than you. And they do. There's always somebody who can plot and plan more deceptively than you can. There's always somebody who knows how to despitefully use you more than you do. So how bad do you have to have a wife? How bad do you need to be married? Do you know who's in the bed with you right now? Do you feel something seems off, right? Something seems off? How many times has the Lord warned you, but you ignored it? Told you to run? Do you want to wake up in a burning bed? Are you willing to be kidnapped, dismembered? Are you willing to go through all types of horrific events in order for you to be wiped off the face of the earth so they can obtain money? No. I know you're not. So I want to urge you to be very careful and do the work to find out who it is that you're with. To put yourself in a position to where after you are mating, your head isn't decapitated. I'm not impressed with any woman who marries a man just to try to murder him for his money. I'm not really fond of women who go after men for money only. I don't call you gold diggers because if you had any wisdom, you would understand the value of gold. And people who go looking for gold know that there's a certain way that you go about it. It's a process. And a lot of you women don't want to toil your own soil. You want to go over to somebody else's harvest and take what they just toiled and put it in a barrel and put it on top of your hard-ass soil and think something's going to really grow. I don't call you gold diggers because if you understood the value of gold, you would approach it when you excavate it or look for it or pan for it in a different way. You would understand the value of gold. And gold comes from the earth, right? And so to violate the earth in order to look for gold and obtain gold, you will be dealt with by the Most High God, who is the creator of heaven and earth. You can't just go about looking for gold in an ill-gotten way. There's a process. Some gold will never be found because it's not for you to find it. And that's why you'll really never find a good man, because the Lord will hide a good man from you. He'll hide his. So I don't call you gold diggers. I call you troll diggers. Dirt all underneath your fingernails. You stink. You're putrid. You crawl. You have webbed feet, scales. You're a troll. You're willing to kill a brother just to get some money. You're willing to set a brother up just to obtain. Who the F-U-C-K raised you? What type of F-U-C-K-I-N-G vibe are you on? You're a troll. You're like underneath the bridge, like you live in the gutter. Because all you effing care about is money. All you care about is a freaking purse, jewels, having a good time, partying and bullshit, getting over, having power, domination. You ain't nothing but a damn troll digger. Using marriage, something precious, as a freaking weapon, using your vagina as a weapon, your mouth as a weapon, your whole body. You are an entity, a principality, and you need to be kicked out of the village. How dare you? Make it to where a brother never wants to get involved with a woman again. Making it to where a brother never wants to get on his knee again or ever set up a wonderful, beautiful, romantic proposal again because you sat there and you played with his heart. You played with his mind and his soul. You came in like your daddy. Who's your daddy? Beelzebub. The one who seeks, kills, and destroys. Seeking whom he may devour. You look just like your daddy. You act just like your daddy. You're not fearfully and wonderfully made. You are a horrible illusion. A shadow. Of a cactus. The tentacles of something creepy and crawly. And you use your body, your beauty, and anything else you can use, minus your brains, to marry for money and to murder for money. And you use witchcraft to help you. And you go from husband to husband, leaving a trail of blood just like the colonizers. Destroying the village home wrecker. That's what the Black Widow Bride is, the home wrecker. Some of you are willing to kill for some of the ugliest purses, but because they're name brand, here you go. Some of you are willing to kill for shoes that you can't even walk in, can't even make it from A to B without your feet howling. That's how far you go. For watches and jewels, for everything. You'll go so far for things that will be taken from you so fast. This is how good God is, that you don't ever get to see the outcome. You just get to see what's happening right then and there. But you're always going to drop some type of evidence. And the FBI, they're on to you. They're going to catch you. Somebody has seen you. You're going to slip up. You're getting too comfortable. The next man that you marry is going to be the right one. And he's going to give you a run for your money. And then you will sit your ass in jail. And you will think about it. Think about what you're trying to do to me. Think. Should have had more RESPECT, right? The game is cold. Are you dying to date? Are you looking for love in all the wrong places? Who is that you have in your bed right now? What is your wife really up to? Now, not everybody's wife is wicked, but some people's are. I want you to go to Life Insurance Policy Locator, type in your name, and see if somebody has a life insurance policy on you. You need to do some investigating. You need to really find out what's going on. Stop eating that spaghetti. Clear the energy. Because otherwise, brother, it's only a matter of time before the Black Widow Bride takes you out with no regrets. Don't be so desperate for love that you end up dead. That's for everybody, male and female. Some of you have some stories about how you barely escaped. Some of you have had some things happen to you that you never thought would happen to you. Some of you have been gang stalked. Some of you have had to outrun a car following you. Some of you feel like somebody's watching you. Some of you have even told your family members if something happens to you and your friends, if something happens to you, that your wife did it. But you want to stay for the kids, and that's how she's getting you. Don't let her use the children as a way to keep you in that home, only to kill you. Vibrate high so you can find a way to escape, brother. And next time you get ready to order your bride through the mail, if she can't fit in the mailbox, then you don't need to order her. I thank you for listening to the Sister Speak Show, the Suspense Files, covering the who, what, when, where, why in urban crime, mysteries, deadly relationships, obsessions, and more. You've been a wonderful listening audience. I really want you to be careful. I'm serious about this. I'm so serious about this. Tonight's episode, Death Will Part Us, Murder for Money, The Black Widow Bride. Weeping may endure for a night, but joy comes in the morning. Yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for thou art with me. Thy rod and thy staff, they comfort me. The Lord is my rock, my fortress, and my deliverer, my God, my rock, in whom I take refuge, my shield and the horn of my salvation, my stronghold. If God be for me, who can be against me? Fret not thyself because of evildoers. We return to sender all black magic, all voodoo, all hexes, all demonic energy, all negative energy. We mirror that back unto you and we reverse it to you. It boomerangs into your bosom. The karma that you send towards us will hit you immediately and have an adverse effect immediately. I'm divinely protective, and so are my listening audience. Thank you, and be encouraged. And be careful. I don't want you to get down on one knee and end up in a deadly matrimony.